Now with Coach Rod Barnes, weekly press conference for men's basketball.
All right, Coach, a lot of pats on the back, and now it's back to business, and you got a trip to Florida. What's your takeaway from that Fresno State game?
Well, I thought the second half, I thought our guys really executed defensively. I thought in the first half, I thought we were pretty decent offensively as far as our execution of what we were doing. I thought we hit a spurt there that we played probably our best basketball there, someone midway through the second half. And I was just proud of our guys, to have a crowd like that for the first time, with a game like that on the line, for us to perform the way that we did. And it also showed me we got a lot of different guys that, we've been thinking all along, that can step up in big moments. And we were just pleased with our overall play, but knowing that we need to get better and we need to play better. But this early, there was a lot of bright spots throughout the game.
What did you make of the crowd?
Well, I think, again, I've always say this, I think now, especially the teams that can have a big crowd at home, I think their percentage of probability of winning is it's through the roof, because I think the talent level is so balanced, that if you can get a push from your crowd, to keep the lows from happening or make your highs really high. And I thought that happened to us the other night. I thought we made a run, and I thought our fans really got on their feet, were yelling and screaming. And I think we were able to push out what probably would have been a closer game without having the fans there. So I thought it really helped our guys, and I thought they were excited about it. And I think that's what college basketball should and ought to be here at Bakersfield.
One more question about that game, because you talked about playing better basketball. Where do you see the growth the most? Is it chemistry? Is it something else? Where's the growth on this team that you're seeing?
I think the chemistry from a standpoint of just confidence. I think our guys are confident in each other. I think they think, especially on the offensive end, I think they believe all the guys that we have that put in the game that they're capable of scoring the basketball and capable of making the right plays. I just think the more we're together, we'll play a little bit better. I thought the other night we had several opportunities on passes that went out of bounds that still tell me we haven't fine-tuned and know each other as well as we like to and we should. But also I saw them pulling together a lot in the huddle about, hey, man, we got to make a push. So the chemistry of them believing in themselves is probably the biggest thing for me right now. Defensively, I still think we got a lot of work, to do as far as communicating with each other and guys knowing what to do and can help their teammates in the middle of the play. But I think from an offensive standpoint and a belief standpoint, I think we're heading in the right direction. And I think that's been our biggest growth lately, that guys not afraid or guys are not, they're sure of themselves, when they're trying to make plays. And we haven't been like that, I mean, people have asked me, we haven't changed a whole lot from what we do. It's just the players, and I've said that, we've taken more threes, we're playing faster. It's really because of players. It's been what I've been wanting all along, which we've been talking about that a lot at the beginning of the season. And then you don't see many shots being turned down with this group of guys, which is a good thing because I think we're taking good shots. We're not taking bad shots. But I think the confidence in themselves and the confidence with each other, I think it's our positive. It's our most important thing that I think is happening, and that's where we're getting our most growth.
Well, they do look like they enjoy playing with each other. So,
Yeah.
Corey Stevenson, who last year sometimes it looked like you didn't really see him on the floor. Now, I don't mean literally, but
Yep.
he's just sort of disappeared offensively sometimes. He's been really aggressive offensively. What can you say about what he's been able to do?
Well, I think, he's been one of our most consistent, one of our hardest workers since the spring. When we got out of the season, I think he took a few days and went home And then he's been back working, and he's been working like he really wants to prove himself. He wants to be one of those guys on our team that we can depend on. We talked about consistency, as you just mentioned, of him playing for 2 or 3 minutes and then disappearing, or being really aggressive this game and not being aggressive the next game. And we started telling him it's about consistency. If he stayed consistent in his attack, obviously he's put in the work to improve his jump shot and his ball handling also. And both of them still could use some work, but he's improved both of those. But he's playing with a high level of confidence, but more important, he's attacking, and he's not having those lulls where he would just disappear. And I think that's helped him to, obviously improve his scoring, but it's definitely helped our team.
Florida, 3 games, 3 days, early start times on all of them. Feels like a tournament almost. Gives you that tournament feel a little bit. Your thoughts on the entire event, and let's start with Florida Gulf Coast.
Well, first of all, I think it's a great event. We got some really good teams in there. Some teams that feeling like I think this year they have a lot to prove. I've watched 2 of the teams play, Florida International and Florida Gulf Coast. Both of those teams are talented. Both of those teams, come from, solid programs, really good coaches. And so, we got our work cut out for us. First of all, to get there, and obviously you mentioned it being an early start time. So a lot of times you're in a tournament situation, you have the early start time, and then it moves to the evening, the second game or so. But we got early start time all 3 games. It's going to take a toll on our team. We're going to learn more about our team. We probably find out a little bit more about our bench and some guys that haven't been playing. I'm sure that they'll get playing time. You want to learn as much as you can out of this time in Florida as you possibly can. You want to come out of there and have some a little bit more assurance of what you're dealing with. Like, we have some guys on our team, our Corey being one of them, Marvin being one of them. Jamel has probably proven himself to be a consistent scorer. But then we have some guys that we need to find out a little bit more about them. Shaq is one of those guys. Cam is one of those guys. We got to try to get more playing time. And we know that Kadar is very gifted and talented, but he hasn't played as much and hasn't played as well as we would like. So we got some guys that we need to step up, and this give them an opportunity because they're going to have the opportunity to play. And then I think we could come back home and do a true assessment because we're playing against teams that would play in our league and do well in our league. So we'll have a little bit better, what do you want to call it, a sense of more playing time for guys as far as their sample size than what we have right now.
So, Florida Gulf Coast, you said you saw him. What do you know about him? What did you see?
Well, they're a big guy inside. I don't really know full names right now. Really talented, leads them in scoring, averaging about 14 a game. It's his 6th year. A guy that, got his waiver almost sometime back in August, I think it was. They got really good size as far as their guards. They like to play big guards, so they're 6'4", 6'5". They play a really a game that's really they change things up on you. They'll play a 1-3-1 zone. They'll 1-2-1-1 you full court. They'll 1-2-2 you full court. They'll play man to man. They're going about 8 deep right now. I'm sure this tournament, which all the teams I think have to go deeper, but that's who we'll be expecting right from the beginning. They have several guys that are coming back. The inside guy being one of them. One of their guards just transferred from Delaware State, I think it is. He's their starting point guard. He started in the last game. I think his name may be Munoz, something like that. But the thing that's probably sticks out to me is they really play well together. They're well coached. They're sound. We're going to have to beat them. And then just the changing of defense. which we hadn't seen a whole lot this year. We're going to have to be prepared for that. Not many people, even in the country, play a 1-3-1 on a consistent basis. Not necessarily worried so much about the press. I think, we got good enough ball handlers, and, if we have to change our rotation, as far as that go, them having size at every spot, and they like to post their guards, concerns me as far as going into the game. Obviously, being on that home floor, I'm sure fans and students are going to come out. So we get the first challenge to play the home team on their home court, and they're looking for a win. So obviously, it's that they played some really good teams, took some really close losses. So they're going to be prepared and ready and wanting to start this MTA off right. So we're going to have to get down there and get prepared and get locked in and get ready to go and be prepared because it'll be a tough game for us.
And you mentioned that you've seen Florida International on tape. What'd you see in them briefly?
A little different. Fast-paced team, a lot of little guards, like to press, like to play fast, play a lot of people. So it's going to be a different kind of game. We're going to go from maybe, again, I would imagine the coach is going to stick with his 8 or 9 guys. To the next day, we'll be playing 10, 11 guys. We'll go from a very sound, very structured, what they're trying to do offensively with Florida Gulf Coast to Florida International plays a little bit faster, play a little bit more one-on-one, a little bit more attacking, trying to get easy baskets and get to the foul line. So 2 different types of teams and games and what coaches are looking for. They like to press a lot. So, our guards are going to have to take care of the basketball. But we can probably go into that game with a little bit more size advantage than we will the first game against Florida Gulf Coast.
Could be a challenge, though, back-to-back, playing that team second.
It could be. I mean, it's definitely going to be prepared. We'll come out of this better because we're going to see very good coaches. We're going to see very talented. But we're going to see different styles and how people are playing, which, again, I think it'll help us. And, again, we'll find out a little bit more about us because it just won't be a man-to-man defense in one game, and then it'll be another game where it's a lot of pressuring going on. And just seeing how the rotation that we'll use as far as during 2 different games back-to-back and seeing can we play through that.
Have you seen Northeastern at all?
I saw them very early in the year. I coached against Coach Cohen when I was at Georgia State, so I know his style. Another team that's going to play big, as far as guards and stuff. He's always got guys that are 6'4", 6'5" guards. 6'3" usually the smallest guard that he plays with. Again, they run more of a structured kind of offense. They shoot the ball. All of their guys are able to shoot. A little bit more like a North Dakota State kind of style of play. So we've seen that, and kind of the same kind of defense. They kind of gapping it a little bit. So it won't be such a team that we haven't seen their defense or their offense. But the other 2 teams, it's definitely going to be a change for us. We'll see something we haven't seen this year.
Are these your last 3 games before you play the 2 league games and then back into non-league?
No, we go to Southern Utah
that's right. You're at Southern
next
Utah.
Saturday.
Okay. All right.
The following Saturday.
All right.
We go there, and then we got 2
So what do you hope
games.
to get out of those 4 games, 3 in Florida and in Southern Utah, to be ready for really 2 tough starts at both on the road at Irvine and San Diego?
First, I hope we can get 4 wins. That's what we'll start with. But then what I really want to gather from that is get a better who we are, the identity. Like, I know how we want to play as far as that goes, but we still got rotations. We still got starts that we got to figure out. And, again, I think that gives us an opportunity. When you think about our team, C.J. Hardy is playing really well, had a great game the other night. Jamil has played pretty sound all year long. Marvin the fourth is really showing that he should be and need to be in the lineup. But then again, we got some bigs that, we think that could be really, really good, that haven't played as well as we think they're capable of playing. And again, you take a guard like Kadar, like anticipating him really stepping up. And sometimes when a guy's been out for a whole year, it takes him a little while to get into the rhythm. And we've been fortunate to have some other guys to step in and buy some time for him to really find his footing. So I'd like to come back after those 4 games and say, okay, this is who we are in this situation. This is who we are in this situation. This is the group that we need. But also, I would like for us to be a closer team. I think we're building that, but to spend this time that we're fixing to spend in Florida and then going on the road, I think when we get ready to go on the road in conference play, we'll be prepared and ready because we've been on the road, already and played some really tough teams because, again, these teams we're playing could easily play in our league. So we've been seeing good competition, and we've been seeing different styles of play, and we've been got a lot more minutes under our belt. So I think it'll make us ready for it.
Do you think this team needs more scoring from the big men? Well, it's been the guards and the tweeners more than anything else. Do you think you need more scoring, or do you just think it's a night-by-night thing because, it looks fine right now?
Well, I would like to. I mean, I always, when you can, throw the ball inside and get a post score, I like to go in there, not necessarily even more, but be confident that we can go inside if needed to go inside. I think Fidelis has been playing pretty well and kind of at the level that we think. I think he's gaining a lot of confidence. He's been pretty efficient with his opportunities that he has to score. We expect more from Shaq. It's just plain and simple. He's had several opportunities on, whether it's offensive rebounds or dump off. Then there's time that we could have gotten the basketball and we didn't. So, that's something that we got to work on because, again, I believe in our perimeter people. And as you mentioned, our guards, our tweeners, I believe in them. I think we've got the numbers we need there. But just in case, you always want to have whatever's necessary, especially when you have guys that are capable of doing it. And we have big guys that we think are capable of scoring, but our pace is better, that we're playing faster, and we're kind of in the open court. So it's a little bit different than past few teams. We stopped to try to get the ball inside. So I'm sure someone will slow us down and, make us play a half-court game, and we're going to have to be able to go inside. But again, we think we've got to have an answer there. And I think we've shown that we could play small, we could play fast. Now we need to prove that we could play big and be effective in it. And I don't think we've had to do that, but when we do, I want to be prepared for it.
Good.
Wow, good. Tell Nick and Isaac we don't need them anymore. All right.
So we got the Florida International has 2 VCU guys on their staff.
Oh yeah, they do.
Joey Rodriguez,
they do.
guard,
And,
and I don't know if it's a head coach.
It's the head coach.
Is it?
Yeah.
Head coach, okay.
Yeah.
So the head coach and then Joey Rodriguez,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
assistant. Yeah.
I didn't know Joey was there, man.
Yeah.
I did not look at that enough.
Yeah. VCU's retiring his jersey this year.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
like in about a month, I think, or something
Yeah.
like that.
All right.
Or maybe in February, I'm not
Yeah.
sure. But,
Good. I coached against him.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was at Georgia State.
Oh, okay.
All right, boss man. I'll get
Thanks,
it.
man.
You want me to get it?
Yes.
I gotta go in the office. Tell her, hurry up,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Safe travels, coach.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Sarah Weideman, women's basketball.
Okay. All right, so your takeaway from the last game as you guys get ready for San Diego State coming in here.
Yeah, takeaways from the last game?
Just your thoughts on the last game, yeah.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Hey, I thought at times we battled in the first half. I'm starting to see some incremental growth as far as shot making, but before that game, we were still, our numbers weren't ideal, like 0 for 27 for unguarded shots, but our offense is 166 in the country in terms of generating open shots, so that's the upper half, right? And so we did it in the first half. Now we have to be consistent and hit open ones, and so I was proud of our effort, but yeah, I think they're growing, but still a lot of work to do.
So you're big on analytics and breaking things down in terms of a game. So I guess from that standpoint, taking away from what we see on the scoreboard, where are you seeing success and where are you seeing lack of success?
Yeah, I'm seeing success in terms of creating and generating the open shots that we're looking for. And so I know that will come, making the shots. I am still looking for more in terms of effort and winning like 50-50 balls and the toughness war that we want to win. And that's where we've got to be better. And so we're doing drills constantly in terms of taking charges, diving for loose balls. And so we're just trying to get that to be part of our identity. And so just looking for a little bit more in that area too, finishing plays.
San Diego State, what do you know about them?
Yeah, I mean, San Diego State, they're well balanced. They are 15th in the country in post touches, so they're going to try to get the ball inside. And obviously, we're a little bit smaller, so we have to make some adjustments defensively to protect the rim. But they have a couple shooters, and I think they're one of the hardest working teams in the country. And so we're going to have to match their intensity in terms of our work ethic. And they played together for a little bit, so another formidable opponent that's won over 20 games last year. So they will come ready to work.
I could be wrong on the schedule. You have 2 or 3 games before you hit the 2 league games. I can't remember if you have
I believe 3.
3? Okay, all right. So before you hit conference playing, you hit it for a couple games, then you step out of conference again.
Yeah.
But where are you on this path in terms of before you get to Big West Conference play? How good do you feel about the team? Are they trending in the right direction? Are you concerned? What?
Yeah, no, I think we're trending in the right direction. I think that this team just has to keep chipping away and building the right habits, but I do see growth. I'm not seeing it with the score, but I'm seeing it on how we're trying to build it. And so a firm foundation has to be established. And I really do like the fact that our non-conference is hard, because hopefully Big West play is a little bit easier, and I think hard is good for this group.
So when you say you're not seeing it on the scoreboard, is that by definition just because you're missing shots, or is it something else? Because if you feel like, okay, the shots are going to fall,
Yeah.
when they get confidence, the numbers on the scoreboard will look different, or is it something else?
Yeah, most of it's shot making, and then I watched the film and I've broken down some games, and I just need to be a little bit more manipulative in terms of who has the ball in their hands. It was a little bit more free flowing, but I have to pick the players' spots more, and so that's on me to make those adjustments. And I've identified that with the staff, and so I'm going to do a better job with that and keeping in the people's hands who I want making the decisions.
Are they playing at the pace you want them to play?
Close, not yet, not consistently. But we are starting to play a little bit faster. When we did film the other day, I told you we want to break the arc in 4 to 5 seconds, and we had at least 20 possessions of that at Utah Valley. And so getting closer at Utah State, we got 72 shots up, which is more how I want to play, and that's with 20 turnovers. So if you had 10, that's 82 shots. And so some of these games we were like in the 40s, and so that just won't do it. And so Utah State was a better game in the swing, but we just dug a hole early, and we didn't take care of the ball, and so that's something we're still getting these guys to do.
So what about the turnovers?
Yeah, it's I'm a big reps person, but reps, but also playing to our press break. We have all of the advantages built in, and now we just need to execute. And I understand that a lot of these guys, though, I talked to them after post game, a lot of them haven't necessarily been like the main player in a program before, and so I do have to have some grace with the fact that no one's really been like the person in at this level, Division I level. Taylor Caldwell a little bit a couple years ago, but no one has been counted on to score and to take care of the ball and to have a heavy load. They've more so been role players. And so we've just talked about how everyone has to be so solid in just their role because we have to do it by committee. And so I need everybody to do their part and do it well.
So what about that, in the fact that, like, if this were a movie, they're being asked to be the lead actor or actress
Yeah.
when they're usually not?
Yeah.
What about that in terms of them embracing that, or at least having the confidence to go tackle it?
Yeah, and I think confidence is something we're working on. Them having that, and like I put the stats on outside the locker room, and reps are moved out, and confidence is earned. So you should be in the gym, and living in here, it's going to take the extra work so that you do have the confidence to perform when the lights are on, you know? And I think that we're still working through everybody understanding that the reps that nobody sees are what gets you, you know, opportunities to look really good when people are here. And so that's a part of the culture. Like, the culture is work to win. You have to work if you're with me. And so I'm just trying to encourage that. And we get after it when we're in our required hours, but the separator is the extra.
So unfortunately, you guys haven't entered the win column, and I'm
Yeah.
just sort of wondering, do you see losing wearing on them in any way, shape, or form, or do you think they're still in a good place?
I think they're in a good place. I think that was funny. We just went to lunch as a staff. I was like, they're the happiest 0-4 team. But I also want them to understand that, like, big picture, that we're working through some things and that still the best is yet to come, but you have to put in the work. And so I'm optimistic because I see growth happening. It's just, again, it might not be the pace I like, but I'm at peace with it because I know that we're doing it the right way, and it might take some time. But they are in good spirits. They had a great practice this morning, even though most of them are sick from the Utah trip. But I thought they got after it, and I really like their fight, you know. And we're trying to develop that bounce back ability. They almost quit at Utah Valley and even at Utah State, but they battled. We got it down to 8, and then we just, like, late in the third, we didn't hit shots. They hit timely shots, and we didn't. And so a lot of it is shot making. I always tell them, like, I'm going to take extreme ownership of whatever we're doing, but shot making, like, 0 for 27 unguarded, that's nuts. You know, some of our percentages are insane, like, because they've shot it better in practice and in shooting tests. And so I have to believe that it's gonna you know, come to fruition. They're gonna fall.
So do you think some of the scores that the final, if somebody just looked on the paper and just saw the final score, nothing else, do you think they have been misleading in a way from the knowing basketball as you do, that, okay, people didn't see the game, they would know this was not an 18-point game or whatever? And do you think maybe some of those games you earned what you got?
Yeah, I think some of them we earned them, but I mean, it's shot making and ball security, right? And so I know that all of the things, and they know from watching the film, everything is fixable, you know, and it's just about us being so disciplined. And so, and they know, I'm like, who can fix these things? And they're like, it's us. So I know that they can fix it, and they'll have a chance, you know, to be good. Like, we have a chance. It's just, will you be sharp every possession? You can't take plays off, especially at this level, and then it can turn into an avalanche. If you go on like, if they hit 3 shots and then we miss 3, like, it can happen that fast. And I don't want to waste all my timeouts trying to just weather the storm when I like to save them for the fourth quarter, you know. But I want them to fight through some things and to play through mistakes. But there's just some growing pains. But, like, I thought, if I'm honest, I'm not super patient, but I feel like I have some patience just because I know that that we're trying to build it the right way.
Yeah. Final question on a personal level. You know, when I first met you, this is your dream to be a head coach.
Absolutely.
It's been a rugged start so far.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with it? And have you reached out to a mentor at Toledo or anywhere else and talked any of this through with them, or how are you dealing with it?
Yeah, I've talked to some of my mentors, and like one of my, he said, he texted me right after Utah State. He's like, you don't know this, but you guys are making strides. And then someone else texts me and they're like, you know, you're a great person, great coach. Like, it's going to work out. Like, you just have to know that you're going to have growing pains. The situation I kind of took over, it was kind of the timing. Like, I just have to understand. But now I'm like, I still want to do it. You know, I still am working towards us, you know, winning and building a sustainable program. But it could be hard. And then, like, a coach in the Big Sky texted me this morning. He's like, you're going to get your players, like, ready. You're going to get the players you need in here. And so why would you worry? He's like, I started off 1-19 last year, and now they're 4-1 right now. So he's like, you're just going to have to weather the storm and keep chipping away. And so I just know that I'm here for a purpose, and I'm going to fulfill it. But it might be rocky for a little bit.
But you don't like losing. How's that been?
I don't like losing. I probably look like I don't sleep much, but Garrison came in the office, and he's like, Ari, don't overwork yourself, nor the staff. And I'm like, we want to win. And, like, if you want a desire to win, like, you're going to have to find solutions, and that might require you losing some of your time and sacrifice. But I told you and everybody, like, this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and I treat it like that every day. I'm not going to waste time. I'm not going to cheat the grind. So we're going to figure it out.